Hi, I'm Mars from StrataGames. Today I'm trying out something unique. We're doing black sack, but we're adding green, so Golgari Sacrifice, which was a traditional deck in Pauper several years ago that has been somewhat outclassed, but we're trying to bring it back a little bit. So it's a lot of the traditional black sack cards: Mortician Beetle, Carrion Feeder, fodder is Infestation Sage, Nested Shambler, Link Breaker, Shambling Ghast. We're playing Supernatural Stamina and Village Rites, as well as some Tragic Slips in our main deck. But with green, we're getting Bequeathal, Rancor, and Bayou Groff. And then we're also playing Gates, because why not? Obviously, Gates can work really well with a lot of small creatures. Gates is generally a slower deck. We're not trying to gate up a creature for plus 10, like a Caw Gates or something like that eventually. Honestly, just plus 3 to a Nested Shambler that we could sacrifice could be good, or to a Flyer, or to a creature with Rancor. That's kind of the goal. The green splash is always tough because we have to play a bunch of tap lands in our low to the ground deck. Colony Garden is a cool card for the deck because it's a land that gives you a creature. However, I think this deck does not work unless if every single one of your lands taps for black mana. So that's why we have the Manor Gates, Black Dragon Gates. Although I say that, we do play 3 Basilisk Gates. I'm not playing 4. Again, it's not the main goal of the deck, and I really think it's important to have lands that tap for black mana, but the Basilisk Gates we just kind of have to deal with if we want Gates in the deck. So, I don't know, some interesting stuff we're trying out. We'll see how it goes. Sideboard, we have some of the traditional Rotten Reunions, Drown in Sorrows, and Mesmeric Fiends, but then green gives us Weather the Storm and Masked Vandal, which are cards that people have tried to splash in the deck before, even in the mono black version, because it's important enough to have Artifact Hate and Life Gain. So hopefully these will help us in certain sideboard matchups. In any case, let's take this deck, or pile you might call it, into a league and see how it does. Alright, round 1 here, we're on the play, we have our gate. We have a decent hand. Now the tap land is pretty rough because we could get a Bayou Groff on turn 2 if we didn't have to play a tap land here, like if we had Swamp, Link Breaker, and then Forest, Bayou Groff, but I think the Forests just would not work in the deck. So, next turn we can go Link Breaker and maybe hold up a Stamina. That doesn't do much. Hopefully we'll get like a Carrion Feeder or something, because I don't think Rancor on the Link Breaker makes much sense either. It would let us get in for 2 extra damage the following turn, but Rancor is going to come right back to hand when we sacrifice it to the Groff. They have a Lotus Petal, so I'm going to guess Spy. There's a Land Grant for a Forest. Play that, and they have a Caretaker, or they could get a Battlement down right away. They go for the Battlement. Another Link Breaker. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to really put a Rancor on this Link Breaker when it could just get blocked by a Battlement, so I think we just do this. Bayou Groff is big. Unfortunately, it does not grow as much as quickly as the other growers, so I don't know. We'll see how this goes. They Winding Way, get a Gate Creeper, and a Sagu Wildling. There's a Beetle, but I'm probably just going to do Bayou Groff this turn. Yeah, I have no other way to sacrifice creatures, so it could be worth... I guess if they block with the Caretaker, I could Stamina just to kill the Caretaker, which kills 2 of their mana. And then I could play a Beetle, which starts growing with the Groff next turn. It's not the worst thing ever, but obviously getting a Groff down, which starts growing, is decent. Also, we're using Stamina just as a combat trick, but it does take down 1 of their mana, and they're going to... Yeah, I think cutting their mana short a little bit is probably worth it. Let's do this. These Groffs pretty much replaced the Bloodthorn Vampires, so already if we were just mono black, I think we'd have a pretty decent shot here, because we would have been able to attack for a lot with the Vampire, or at least threaten a lot. This Rancor would be, some who knows what other card, but definitely things would be quite a bit different. They play a Wall of Roots. Infestation Sage, yep, here we're just attacking. They take 2. We'll cast a Groff, sacrificing the Link Breaker, growing the Beetle. I mean, Groff with a Rancor is pretty good, but it's going to take a couple turns for that to really be close to lethal, and we could already be dead by then. They play Gate Creeper Vine for a Swamp, and lead the Stampede. That finds Spy, and without a bunch of Tragic Slips that we're going to top deck, Spy's just going to kill us next turn. Play another Wall of Roots, play a Mesmeric Fiend. Alright, we die. We get Mesmeric Fiends if we want them, but Rotten Reunions are the main thing we're getting. I guess Fiend is okay here. Usually you want more removal. I don't actually have more removal in the sideboard, but we are playing 3 Tragic Slips in the main deck. I will say with the Bequeathals, our goal is just to draw a little bit more in this version, which I thought was good because we want to hit more land drops. But that's not really where you want to be against Spy. So I kind of think Bequeathals can maybe go, I guess, a Sage. I think the thing about Bayou Groff is that you really want it to be cast on turn 2, but this deck just does not let that happen because you have to play a tap land to get it on turn 2, and then you don't have anything to sacrifice. This one's got only one land and just does not look very good. This also has only one land. It does have some tragic slips. It's looking for a sack outlet though, and I don't think that's really keepable, unfortunately. I guess we're trying this. Getting rid of 2 of these lands. Mana Gate on black. Forest, Lotus Petal, Land Grant. They do Saga Wildling, get a Carrion Feeder. Not the best card ever, Carrion Feeder here, because I was hoping for fodder that could actually sacrifice to the Groff. I might have to just sacrifice this to the Groff, but that's not really where we want to be. Gatecreeper Vine, it's already 4 lands. Although another Swamp, Basilisk Gate. Well, I guess we can attack, Stamina, and then Groff, so it comes back. Why not? Hit for 3, play Biogroff, and we have some creatures. There's a Winding Way. Hits 4 creatures, including a Spy. There's a Battlement, another Carrion Feeder. We're sacrificing this to this one, so I can Tragic Slip this Battlement. Swing for 7. Dread Return on the Battlement. That's interesting. I can force a chump block from the Gatecreeper Vine. No, I can't. I was thinking if I get a gate, I could have, because this would be 10 damage, but now I'm only at 9 damage. Could put a Rancor on the Carrion Feeder. Doesn't trample for as much, but it lets it attack past the Battlement, so I could attack in for 9. They chump here, though. They only take 4, whereas if I just put it on here, I'm probably attacking for 5. I mean, either way, we don't have lethal, and they have a Spy. I'm pretty sure I'm dead. They block the Carrion Feeder. We're probably still dead, but they didn't have to do that. I mean, they could be worried that they were, like, missing a damage somewhere, like miscounting or something, but, I mean, if they have, like, a 1-drop and a Spy, or I guess a Wall of Roots would do it. Another Gatecreeper. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure they have 5 lands at this point. No, they declined to use it. I guess it doesn't matter. They still just have 4 mana here. Spy themselves, and we die. We have a pretty decent matchup. Mono Black Sacrifice has a decent matchup there. We don't have, because we're testing out other random cards with the green, we don't have anywhere near as much removal in our main deck and our sideboard, so it's a tougher matchup. All right, we're against Bokina, who plays Elves. We have 1 Tragic Slip, but this Basilisk Gate looks really terrible. We don't have green mana. We don't have double black mana, so we're basically on 1 land as far as actually casting spells. This one is slow, but otherwise I guess fine. I mean, the tap lane is going to be brutal. Like this, it's not going to work, I don't think. We'll get rid of the Bequeathal. This is 2 matches in a row already that we're playing against that. Matches that a long time ago, several months ago, I would say Elves was a really bad matchup for Black Sack, and I would say Spy was like a medium, not great matchup for us. But through a lot of trial and error, I've gotten to the point where we have a deck list that's actually pretty decent against them. And now I'm playing a slightly different deck list that specifically has less removal, because I'm trying out these green cards, and I feel like we're just going to get stomped by them. Like, if I could have a Carrion Feeder down right there, I mean, Tragic Slip's decent, but like, Carrion, yeah, I'm like a turn behind already. Yeah, what I would have wanted to do is Sage already, then I could Village Rites to try to hit our second land drop here. And if we hit it, then we get a Carrion Feeder down. They have a Quarian Ranger. They did mulligan to 5, but I'm not sure that's going to matter too much. They have like a Birchlore. Do a Timberwatch Elf? No, lead the Stampede, sure. Birchlore, Vanguard, Hydra. Rancor does not do much. We'll attack for 1. Village Rites, hope to hit an untapped land. That's the other thing. We could hit a land, but like, tap land does not do too much here. I've had a lot of people ask me why I haven't tried like Golgari Sacrifice on the channel yet, and I have tried it a little bit, not in a video, because and it's just not ever worked great. I don't want to be a huge downer here, and obviously no one told me I had to play Gates. I just wanted to try that out, but even if these were just other generic tap lands for green and black, I don't think it would make much of a difference. We've already lost by a mile here. I think we might as well just go to the sideboard, bring in the Drown in Sorrows, and yeah, maybe we get a Drown off. If we can drown them, we can win. But that's about it. Cut a couple of the Biograph here. Alright, this hand looks decent. We have some untapped lands, card draw, mana enough to find our draw 2, or our Drown in Sorrow. Just start with a Birchlore, swing for 1. They could block this because Shambling Ghast is pretty good in other ways. Yeah, I guess that was maybe not a great attack, just because I'd rather this picks off something else more important, but it's fine. Or it picks off 2 creatures, right? But it's fine. We'll play these, and I'll Bequeathal on this. They have a Priest of Titania. See, that's the thing we would have wanted to kill. Swing with the team. I'll take 2. I'm gonna Village Rites. We'll draw 4 here because of the Bequeathal. No Tragic Slip, but we do find a Shambling Ghast, which we can also Village Rites to pick off the Priest, so that's okay. Pretty good, actually. There's a Tragic Slip. Quarian Ranger, untap, replay, Priest of Titania. Play Manor Gate on black. Play these guys, attack for 4. We'll just Tragic Slip the Priest, because it's going to make too much mana here. There's an Elvish Vanguard. Bounce a land with a Ranger, replay a Ranger, or play a different Ranger, rather. This guy grows a little bit. Another Beetle, buff this guy, and we'll swing. I have a Stamina, so anything they block could get in for. They take 6 here, that's fine. We'll pass. Winding Way hits a Hydra, and we take that game down. Not bad, but I will say, if you notice, we basically played a mono black deck with 1 Bequeathal in it. That's why things went a little better there. Similarly, this one is okay. We don't have any removal, but we have a fast Carrion Feeder. Hopefully we can find some removal. Good Drown in Sorrow. That's pretty good. So next turn I play Gate. Link Breaker. I can make this a 3/3. Winding Way. Okay. Then they play a Sentinel. You also get a Beetle. Alright, well I need to have the potential to drown next turn because I might need to. So we'll just do this. Attack, but I'm gonna leave it because there's a chance that I might want to play like if they go for a Lead the Stampede here as opposed to like deploying a bunch of creatures, then I might want to Beetle first. I don't know. I have a Quarian Ranger, so this Vanguard's gonna outgrow the Drown in Sorrow, unfortunately, but if all they have is 1 Elvish Vanguard, I'm still not too bothered by that. There's the Priest. Yeah, I mean, we gotta just drown these 4 away, I think, even if they do get to keep a Vanguard, and I don't get to grow my Beetle yet. We don't need another Swamp. I'm not going to trade this for this. I guess I have another Carrion Feeder. Their guy's going to keep getting bigger. Ours will too. I guess that's a fine trade. Yeah, they don't want to do that. Play an Elves, Quarian Ranger, swing for 5. We get to play Beetle, Sage, and hold up Stamina. That's an elf. I forgot. This is why in my guide for mono black, you take out the Infestation Sages against the elf deck because your elves pump their effects. I could deal more damage here, but I actually might want this to chump. Yeah, we'll just wait. We'll deal them 3. Pass. They have a Well-Wisher. Not the worst card ever. It could be problematic if they... I mean, with the Quarian, they can untap it, gain a lot of life every turn, so I might need to kill it, but I don't know. Looks like they might have a Nyxborn Hydra for the Vanguard. That could be a problem. It's a 9/9. Trample. Yeah, I guess we'll take 9. Then I'll Stamina this. It'll come back, which is going to give the Vanguard another counter, so I think we're going to lose to this guy unless we get a Tragic Slip, which would be real nice. Link Breaker, so I can make the Beetle. It's a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, so it doesn't even trade with the Vanguard. It's 10 damage, so I need to have 5 to block and not die. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 11, 12... I guess we're gonna gate this up and attack. Untap the Llanowar Elves to chump block. Sure. Play a Fyndhorn Elves. 11/11, so this has to be a 6/6 to have us not die. It's still going to die, but I have to sack 4 things. So we'll be left behind with... might as well be a Mercenary. I don't think the flying matters too much here. I mean, if we get a Tragic Slip, we can survive a turn. And if we can survive a turn, we have a chance at winning. It's still not a great one. We'll go to 1. Right. I mean, even if we have the Tragic Slip, we'll just die to all these guys. They gain some life. Why not? Bequeathal. We're at 1 life, so even if we kill this, we need to deal with these. I guess I Bequeathal this Feeder, and then sack it to itself. And maybe I get Tragic Slip plus... I don't even know. Well, since they chump, but Tragic Slip plus, like, a blocker would do fine. But, I mean, sack it to itself. Let's see if we draw anything relevant. Double Rancor. Not gonna do it.
You can now pick up my comprehensive guide to Esper Cryo Affinity, including 38 sideboard matchups, and I just put out a big update for my Black Sack guide, including a slightly different deck list. I began offering coaching sessions if you're interested in taking your Pauper game to the next level, and I'm accepting deck donations, so if you desperately want me to play a deck that I usually wouldn't play, something like Elves, then you can make me do that for a small fee. I've started posting a League video every single day, not to mention streaming at least a couple times a week on Twitch, but I'm not going to be able to keep that up forever unless I can get a little bit more help from the community. Any of the ways I've just mentioned are great ways to help me out, or you can even subscribe and support me on a monthly basis.
Alright, let's see if we can do anything here. This is a 1-lander. We're on play. But it's got some good cards. It is a 1-tap land, but we have a Carrion Feeder and a Beetle, fodder to grow them, and then a Rancor. So if we top deck a Swamp, I think we'll have a pretty decent game. If we don't, I think we're going to be pretty behind. Start with the Gate. They're on something red, and we don't get the land. They have a Flame Breather right away. We do get a Manor Gate. Playing a Carrion Feeder here seems risky. So we'll play a Sage. Next turn I can play both of these. We'll see if it's not too slow. There's an Epicure. Discard a Snacker. They swing for 1. Bequeathal. Well, Carrion Feeder. Bequeathal could be responded to by just killing our guy, because I kind of think I just want to get the Mortician Beetle down first. See what they want to do there. They bolt, so if I want to keep it alive, I have to make the Beetle pretty susceptible, but I think that's fine. I think the feeder's what we want to be pretty big anyway, and if the Beetle dies, we at least have a Biograph that can still be decent size. Sack the Link Breaker. Might as well sack the Insect, I think. I think I like the Mercenary better than the Flying here. Pass. Grab the prize, discards another Snacker. Okay. Lightning Bolt on the Beetle. We'll just sack it to the feeder. No attacks. Basilisk Gate. So here we're going to play a Rancor for sure. Attack for like 8. And then Biograph. Graph gets chumped though. I think we do Infestation Sage, which can block the Snacker, so we take a little bit less damage. Pump the feeder. Rancor so we don't get chumped. Attack for 8. Do I need to make it any more now? I think we'll sack here to make it 9. They go to 11. Next turn it could be 11 plus the gate for 3 more. That's not quite lethal. Kind of a tough call, but I think we leave it at 9 for now. They attack with everything. That does not inspire me with confidence we're going to win, but I'll block with the Insect and I'll sack to the feeder. We're going to take 4, so they just need 9 more damage on us. They do pass the turn though. We'll pump here. I mean, unless they have a way to kill us and they're just like toying with us, this should be lethal. They wouldn't have any way to gain life or have an instant speed blocker. I don't know. They're either just making us do it or they're slow rolling us, but either way we will pump here. They Fiery Temper their own Flame Breather. So yeah, we got there. That was close. We do get to see if these Weather the Storms do any good, and we also get Rotten Reunions. I think Groff can maybe get cut here, like some Shambling Ghasts. We'll keep it. We need green mana for this Weather the Storm, but we have Sage with the Village Rites. Gate could maybe be relevant later. Well, we used the Basilisk Gate last game, and it still wasn't really relevant, because we actually just... If we'd sacked the Mercenary, we would have already had our 11 damage. But I guess they could have left back their Flame Breather, and that would have absorbed enough damage. So I guess the Basilisk Gate being there did actually matter. It just... Not because they attacked. But they wouldn't have attacked if we didn't have it, so I don't know. I guess we'll block here. Then Village Rites the Insect token, assuming they don't kill it. Highway Robbery gets a Snacker. Yeah, the unfortunate thing about this gate is that Biograph is like the only card, well, except for the sideboard with like Weather the Storm, like the only card that uses generic mana. So it's basically not a land for all of these, which makes me need to like Village Rites to dig for an actual land. And if I don't hit it, I'll play the gate, but like, this is not very good. It did kind of win us the game last time, but now it's definitely screwing us over in a big way. And this is finally a game where I wouldn't have minded starting with like a tap land, because we didn't need the most aggressive start. We have the Weather the Storm for the green mana. So hopefully we just top deck it now. It's not the worst. I'm just going to play a Beetle. If they want to... I mean, if they have to end the festivities or wherever they can kill it, that's fine. If they just bolt it, that's ideal. It's either that or I could Village Rites the Link Breaker here, but I kind of want to Stamina the Link Breaker first. Yeah, Lava Dart. Okay, that is unfortunate. We'll take 2. There's a Gutter Snipe. I still have 3 Tragic Slips in the deck. We just have not seen them yet, though. Cast a Robbery. Fiery Temper. That's 5. Lava Dart's 8. So dead to a Fire Blast. We're probably dead regardless, but we'll see what they got. No Fire Blast. There's no untapped green mana in our deck, except for Shambling Ghast. That's not going to work. I think I need to just... Well, I could Stamina this, which was the goal, but now we don't really have the time or mana to, so I think we just sack it here. And there's the Tragic Slip. Sure. We'll kill the Gutter Snipe. They'll Lava Dart us in response. We're at 5. And then we'll die to a Snacker plus a Bolt. They don't? That means they have to have another Gutter Snipe, I think. We'll take 2. There's the second Gutter Snipe. I knew it. Lava Dart the Mercenary token. And then Bolt us. Sure, why not? We'll just try again. I will say, playing green-black, I could be playing 4 Shambling Ghasts and 4 greedy freebooters to have more treasures floating around, which is probably better for the mana because our mana it's proven pretty awkward, so I think that's not a terrible thing to try out. I just fear that the Carrion Feeder and Beetles aren't actually going to be able to grow very much if half of our fodder creatures don't replace themselves with more creatures, but we will see. Another reasonable-ish hand with the Weather the Storm, but I just don't think that's going to cut it. This one's not great either, but it does have the ability to cast Weather the Storm. Really wish this Infestation Sage was a nested Shambler, because we have 3 ways to pump its power here. Give me another gate, or just a swamp here, please. Alright, thank you. We do get that. Play a Sage. I Guess we'll Rancor on it for all the good it'll do. We'll take a damage from the Epicure. Manor Gate. Alright. I guess we're dealing them 3. No, they're gonna kill our guy. Looks like Lava Dart. Do I want to stamina it? I don't have a lot else going on, so I think so. They want to dart it again in response. That's fine. This means we're not holding up Weather the Storm, but that's probably not going to be a play for turn 3 anyway. Probably more like turn 6 or 7 later. All right, that worked. Rancor comes back. We get our guys. I'm not going to Rancor right now because they could just have another Bolt or Lava Dart and eat the Rancor. Discard a Faithless Looting with their blood. Guess I'll trade for this Epicure here. There's a Gutter Snipe. Nested Shambler. Well, I wasn't expecting the Gutter Snipe so quick. I was thinking about Basiliskating and attacking for a bunch here, but I think we just play the Shambler. I could Rancor onto it, but they probably just flashback the Lava Dart. If they do, they waste some, like, they lose some mana. So I don't really want them to, but also, like, if they do, at least they're down a little bit on mana. And I could Weather the Storm for 4 life here, or for Storm 4 if they do that, which is not a terrible idea. Probably worth it. I just think if I hold this for next turn, first of all, we'll probably be in the same predicament, and second of all, if I gate on, I could gate onto it first, and if they don't kill it, then I Rancor. That was what I was going to do with the Sage, but I think the chances I draw a 1-drop I want to play next turn are pretty high. They actually let it go. Play a Mountain, go for a Faithless Looting. 2 Fiery Tempers. Well, that's 10 damage, so I think I just gotta wait until they cast the second one and I respond with the Weather the Storm, because otherwise they just pass and then I probably die on my turn or something. They could still just have lethal in response here, but I don't think waiting longer is better. This is their best shot to survive. Go to 18. Another Nested Shambler. Well, we're gonna gate this one up. Try to attack for 6. That's all we really got, which is a pretty slow clock. They're going to dart it in response. Alright, we'll still gain our 3 squirrels. They also flashed back a dart, so it feels like they don't have another dart in hand. They could have a bolt that they're saving, but not a dart, I don't think. We'll play a Shambler. Pass. Play a Mountain. They also didn't have enough to kill us when we were at 11 with 1 mana up, so they didn't have a Fire Blast plus a bolt or anything like that, because they could have Fire Blast bolted and Lava Darted. There's a Robbery, sacking a land. They bolt the Shambler. That's rude. That lets them attack with the Gutter Snipe, I suppose. Though we're going to block it too. Just don't want to take unnecessary damage. There's a Carrion Feeder. Play the Feeder, gate up a Squirrel, and attack for 7. Leaving back a blocker for the Gutter Snipe. I mean, if they draw well, we're going to die by a mile, but they haven't had the best cards in hand, and so maybe we can survive here. Grab the Prize with the Snacker is decent. It's that back. We're at 8. They cast a Robbery, tapping out if they find... They already played a Mountain this turn, so yeah. If they find a Fire Blast, we die, but if not, we probably can't kill them, so we'll probably die no matter what. Looks like we're not dead, but like, what's the damage we can... What's the best we can do to them? Village Rites... Currently we have 6 damage on board, 7-8 with the Rancor, 9, 10, 11 with the Basilisk Gate, so that's not lethal if we just do all of that. So I guess if I Village Rites a Squirrel, I can maybe find a kill spot for the Gutter Snipe. Since we can't clearly can't kill them yet, we have to go digging. That's not going to cut it though. Well, I guess we'll just Rancor onto this Carrion Feeder, gate it up, and attack for 8. Leave back blockers. Theoretically, if they can't deal us 6 damage with Faithless Looting is in the grave, so that all they have to find is 2 more spells. Yeah, they block a Squirrel, so we'll sack it to the Feeder, and they're at 5. There's another Gutter Snipe, Faithless Looting, show us any other spell. If they completely whiff here, get all mountains, we would win, because we can attack for lethal, but they got a Fiery Tempers. Alright, let's see if we can get one match here. This hand is absolutely terrible. This one is fine. We'll get rid of one of our bequeathals, or do I just want to keep all the bequeathals and just go for as much card draw as possible? Let's try that. Black Dragon Gate. We're against Rakdos Madness, a fine matchup in general. We're slower, so it's probably worse. It's usually a fine matchup because we can race them just fine, but it's going to be tougher this time. Another Barons. Link Breaker, and we'll just put a Bequeathal on it right away, just in case they kill it. I'm not going to trade it off since we have more Bequeathals in Village Rites. Well, I could trade it off, because we'll probably hit another creature, and obviously we get another creature off of this. Yeah, maybe I will. Vampire's Kiss, Razor Trap Gorge, no attacks. Alright, we'll do another Bequeathal, play a Manor Gate, and this time we'll pass. We'll Village Rites on the end step. We'll draw 6. Brand new hand. There's a Robbery, discarding a Snacker, and a Faithless Looting, discarding a Barons and another Snacker. We will draw 6 cards here, and hope it's everything we could possibly want. A whole bunch of lands was not quite what I wanted, but I guess these spells are decent. Shambling Ghast, Carrion Feeder, Biograph, Carrion Feeder actually does not have the fodder to really be all that good yet. So I think we just do that. Like, it's not going to survive a bolt is the problem. Attack for 1, then sack this to draw 2 more, and just Shambling Ghast. I think that's fine. Next turn we can play these two with a Rancor, maybe a Tragic Slip. We drew 2 or 3 lands more than I wanted, and we're missing out on some fodder. But we're going down to 8 here, so not loving my chances. Basilisk Gate does not help. Not enough. Play a Rancor here. Carrion Feeder, Beetle, Black Dragon Gate. Swing for 8. We can pick off both snackers, so hopefully they don't have 8 damage here. But Shambling Ghast to kill one of them, and then I'll Tragic Slip the other one. Because 6 damage they could very easily have with just like 2 Fiery Tempers off 2 Blood Tokens or Alms of the Vein or whatever. But 8 damage, you know, they have to jump through an extra hoop. Grab the prize, Faithless Looting, gets those both back. Lightning Bolt, and I assume another Lightning Bolt. Well, let's see if Weather the Storm helps this time. Alright, we are on the play. This one looks okay. I mean, 4 lands is so many lands. Generally way more than I would want to keep, but we're a deck that's a little slower and theoretically wants more lands. And we have some card draw. Alright, they mulligan twice. Hopefully that helps. Although, again, we don't have the fastest start here ever. I think our best like 1 or 2 games have all been the ones that look like we're just playing mono black. Surprise, surprise. Link Breaker, and I think we just Village Rites this guy. It's tough because if we don't get more fodder, the stamina is kind of a waste. If I just play a Beetle, it dies right away, and that doesn't seem very good either. They plot a Highway Robbery. We'll just draw 2 right now. Okay, Beetles, not the best. Well, I guess we hope they don't have End the Festivities, but we'll Bequeathal just in case, so we at least get some consolation cards. It's either that or we don't play anything. If we get a Carrion Feeder, sack the Mercenary, grow the Beetles into like another piece of fodder, maybe we can hit for a good amount. Cast Robbery from Exile for a Kitchen Imp, and they play an Epicure. I mean, that's really not as bad as it could have gone with these guys, but we still need to top deck like a Carrion Feeder, Bayou Groff, Village Rites. Alright, Village Rites it is. Pump a Beetle. Village Rites the Mercenary, and okay, there's the Carrion Feeder, plus a Link Breaker, plus a Rotten Reunion. Now we're in the money. Attack. I could hold up Reunion for, what's its name? A Snacker, but honestly, I think we just do this here, sack the Link Breaker, and we can hit in for like 8, maybe 10 if we want. Sack the Link Breaker. So yeah, this is 8. I think we might as well go one more. 10, or 11, because we had the Mercenary Pump. So now they're at 8. We're going to have 3 lethal attackers. Shouldn't be able to deal us 16 damage. Feeling pretty good. They've grabbed the prize with the Fiery Temper. Temper goes to face. No attacks, but if they don't have another creature, they're already dead. There's the Faithless Looting. They've already played a land this turn, so we should be good. Discards a Snacker, because we pump literally without anything from our hand. We just pump here. These are all 5 power, so if they block anything that doesn't get blocked, we can sacrifice to the other one. But also, obviously, with Stamina Reunion, we have a bunch more damage. Just for simplicity, we'll Stamina the Beetle here. We'll sack a Mercenary. We'll deal him 8. And look, that hand that definitely didn't seem almost entirely like a mono black hand was great. We didn't see Weather, we did see Bequeathal, which drew us a couple cards, and we didn't see Rancor. And we did see the Basilisk Gate, but we didn't actually use it. This one's a bit tough, but we have a Shambling Ghast, which can make green mana. If we get another land, we have Weather the Storm, which is pretty good. I guess because this isn't a double body creature, even a land doesn't make it, so these survive all that well, but alright, Carrion Feeder. I'll just lead with a Feeder then. If they want to kill it, that's fine. We have another one after all. They play an Epicure, Link Breaker. Let's play a Link Breaker, swing with the Feeder, pass. They discard a Snacker to a Blood Token, then have a Faithless Looting, discarding another Snacker and a Robbery. No attacks. We get a Gate. Play that on green. Let's see, I could play a Shambling Ghast. That makes it so next turn I could like Beetle, Stamina, have a big Beetle, or I could just Beetle here. If they try to kill either of these, I can grow it out of range. It's kind of a tough call. I think we go for the Ghast here. Alright, we'll attack for 1 and just pass. So I have a couple, well, it really depends on if they try to interact with our creatures here, but we have a couple options because now that I have the Shambling Ghast down, that can make an extra treasure. So I can just leave up like Supernatural Stamina, Weather the Storm for their turn, and if they go for like 3 spells, I can get a Weather off for like 5, or if I get another instant speed spell like 6, because I can Stamina the Shambling Ghast to make a treasure, it comes back, makes another treasure, etc. They do Faithless Looting for an Alms of the Vein and another Snacker, so we are taking a lot from the Snackers. They swing for 2. I could also obviously just sack the Shambling Ghast to pick this off, but I think we're waiting at least another turn for that. Another beetle, like obviously I like playing beetles and growing them here. Do I think I'm going to survive? Because I could play 2 beetles, sack the Shambling Ghast to stamina the Link Breaker, and I mean I could just next turn have like 3 7/7s attacking. But we're also going down to 9 from these snackers. They do only have 2 mana. They've been whiffing on lands. So the chances they can deal 9 with 2 mana, or even 3 if they get another land, is pretty low. That's a really good point, For that reason, I probably do just play these. And we can swing now with everything. I guess if they try to block like one of these, I might have to intervene. But if they don't, they just take 3. Do I want to do it now? I don't think I'm dying, so I could sack this. Stamina, that's already 5 or 2 extra damage. They go to 16. Every point of damage can matter. If I sack this, though, I'm not picking these off, and this could be relevant to pick off these later. Okay, because I could maybe just win next turn, theoretically. Like, if we hit them for 3, they go to 18. Next turn, if I still have the Ghast, I can sack it to ping off the Epicure. We can get our guys big enough. I think we just deal them 3 and see what they do. But the Ghast is currently our only removal. It removing the Epicure, especially if they attack with both snackers, or I could remove 2 creatures with the stamina on the Ghast. That could potentially deal them lethal, so I think we want to see what they do here. I assume they'll attack with 2 snackers. Again, I'm pretty confident I can't die from 9 here, but we'll see if we're right. I guess they could just have 3 bolts, so like, okay, well, that's pretty unfortunate. And if we add Weather the Storm up, so I can obviously sack the Ghast to get a treasure here, and then I can cast a stamina on something, but that's not going to make a difference. So, look, I don't think it's unreasonable to think they literally had to have 3 lightning bolts. It couldn't be Fiery Tempers, it couldn't be whatever else. They had to have exactly 3 lightning bolts out of 4 in their entire deck. That really sucks. Obviously, if we left up Weather the Storm, we would have just won that easily. But maybe they wouldn't have attacked if they didn't have the bolts. But this next turn, I draw Village Rites, stamina on this Link Breaker, sack the Ghast, ping this off, and then the Link Breaker is 5 more sacks, so that's just 18 damage. What are you gonna do? Alright, I think it was a little unfair that we lost that last game. Can we just get 1 match? Not if we don't draw any creatures or lands. That's gonna be a tough one. Perfect. This Bayou Groff that we're just gonna try to hard cast, I guess. Rustfield Bridge. If this is Boros Synth, a deck that I basically never see anymore, which is particularly good against Black Sack, I'm going to be annoyed. Okay, Cleansing Wildfire, Jeskai, Mardu. Okay, sure. That's fine, I guess. We'll play a Manor Gate. We'll play Shambling Ghast. I mean, Mardu's also rough for us, but it's okay. We'll do the classic, the legendary 05 video that everyone's dying to see. They play a Lembas and a Refurb. We'll discard a Swamp. Shambling Ghast. We will attack for 1. And then I think I just Bayou Groff, pick off their Refurb. Bayou Groff dies to Galvanic Blast if they can get a Metalcraft, which they only need 1 more artifact for, so that's a bit unfortunate. But if they don't have it, 5/4 is pretty good. Alright, they have a Spell Bomb, and they do in fact have the Galvanic Blast. That's just kind of rude, honestly. There's a Cleansing Wildfire, another Swamp, and Glint Hawk picks up Lembas. We get a Carrion Feeder, which doesn't survive anything at the moment, so I'm just going to sack this, get a treasure, at least try to hit some land drops or get some more fodder. Kind of. Half of both of those, I guess. If we get any fodder, I can Bequeathal and Village Rites, draw 1 million. We'll take 2 here. They have a Lembas, and another Glint Hawk. There's a Nested Shambler. Well, we can play that and we can Bequeathal. Kind of gives me a choice. Do I want to Village Rites it right now? Or next turn I could Basilisk Gate onto it, Village Rites, and we'd gain a bunch of extra squirrels, which is a way that the Carrion Feeder can get better and, well, actually survive. I think we'll wait to try to do that. I mean, if they try to kill the Shambler, obviously we just Village Rites in response. Journey to Nowhere. All right, well, we're gonna Village Rites. I mean, this isn't the worst. We still get to draw 4. They wasted Journey. If Nested Shambler wasn't going to make a squirrel here, I could have done it in response to the Journey when it was on the stack, and they would have had to eat one of their own Glint Hawks, but there was going to be a squirrel that they could have just done that too, so that wouldn't have been good. Another Nested Shambler. They swing for 4, cast a Lembas, cast another Lembas. They are hungry over there. Well, Basilisk Gate's a real pain, because we're not even going to use the second one almost 100%, but it does not, doesn't give us any mana to actually use for these spells. I think that's, one of the fundamental flaws of this, so probably Gates and Sack just don't go together. Theoretically, I could see the Golgari version working okay, but would definitely need a slightly different mana base here, I think. They synth, play another synth, they get a Skyfisher, play that, bounce back the Journey to Nowhere, which they'll use on the Carrion Feeder, I assume. No, they go for the Shambler. That is annoying. I guess I'll sacrifice it. I mean, they're rightfully playing around us, making a bunch of squirrels out of it, but really wanted them to get the feeder, especially since we have extras here. We get a Link Breaker. I think we just start with a Bequeathal on this squirrel, sack it just to draw 2, see what we get. Swamp and a Tragic Slip. Okay. Kind of want to Tragic Slip a Skyfisher so that they can't just kill us with a Galvanic Blast, and it slows their clock in general. And we'll Basilisk Gate. They crack Spellbomb in response. Don't think that matters. Attack for 8. I mean, theoretically, if they tap out, don't have any ways to gain, don't keep their Lembas up to gain life. And then we could, Basilisk Gate for lethal and win, but they Galvanic Blast this guy, swing for 4. I guess if I get a untapped land, I could double gate up this squirrel, but that doesn't matter because they have a refurb and a bunch of Lembuses. Skyfisher. Alright, we're dead. I'm not really confident we're going to be able to win this one because this is, like I said, a tough matchup for us, but Biograph just dies to Galvanic. Shambling Gas does not kill anything specifically that we want. I mean, refurb, but that's it. We are on the play. Mesmeric Fiend on turn 3. Rancors. This one does not feel right. This one looks better to me. We'll get rid of the Link Breaker, I guess. Play the Black Dragon Gate. Play another one of those. And Sage. We have a Lembas. And we'll Village Rites the Sage. We do get a land drop. A Shambler. Now we just need a Carrion Feeder, and we're in a pretty good spot if we get a Carrion Feeder, because we can Carrion Feeder Beetle, Stamina the Shambler, all at one time. Possible the Fiend is actually less relevant than the Link Breaker, but yeah, they're just going to Galvanic Blast the Shambler. That's rude as hell. Swing for 2. I think we're just going to Mesmeric Fiend with no sacrifice. Their hand is all removal, so what does it matter? We'll take a synth, Galvanic Blast, the Fiend. I could Stamina it, and then I just take the synth again. That forces them to use the cast down. I mean, we've gone through everything else. I think we do that. So we'll take the synth again, because they want to start synthing, but if they want to do that, they're going to have to cast this down, which means that they don't have, well, they still have Journey to Nowhere, but they have less removal for Carrion Feeders and stuff later. Bequeathal. Amazing. I'm not going to play the Bequeathal because they have a Journey to Nowhere, and even if I put it on a squirrel, they could Journey it, and then I wouldn't get the value, which seems bad. They play a land and then synth. That's exactly the mountain, the way you want to do that. Yep, because there's a mountain there. Journey to Nowhere the Beetle. I mean, if I get a Village Rites, we can get a new hand, and that's pretty good. They really do not have a lot going on, although I think at this point I leave this back, and I Bequeathal the insect, so if they want to attack in, I get to draw 2. They sack their Lembas, which, if I could get one of my Masked Vandals to exile the synth before they can bounce it, would be bad for them, but they just sack it right away. Hit a Krark Clan Shaman. Well, that doesn't currently matter too much, but they got it. Play a bridge, and they're going to pass. We get a Manor Gate. Exactly what I wanted. We'll pass, play a bridge. I'll probably just chump anything with this insect. Well, if they attack with the Samurai, I might just trade both my guys for it. No, we'll probably chump, because eventually they're going to sack some stuff with the Samurai. Alright, well, if they just let us do this, I'll trade here. Draw 2 cards. Amazing. Basilisk Gate. I guess we'll pump up this squirrel. Force them to use their Krark. No, they'll just let us get in for 7. Alright, they swing for 3. I'm going to pump again, but let's play a gate here and make sure we do it right. They're going to cast down the squirrel. Fair enough. Luckily, Infestation Sage makes a guy that doesn't die to Krark. We'll also play Carrion Feeder because otherwise I can't for sure have the 1/1 attacking. It's going to get +7. There's a Lembas. Scry at the top. Yep, they got a Glint Hawk. Replay the Lembas. Block here, sacrifice. And we're gonna hope they don't have removal for the insect. That makes it so it's a couple turn clock. Stamina, sure. Buff the insect. The Galvanic Blast for the feeder. I could stamina that, but does that even matter? I think that's fine. Attack. If they don't chump, that'd be really cool. If they didn't chump, I could stamina and win, because they don't have mana for the Lembas this turn. I thought that was a possibility just because they might want to live on the edge, but refurb discards the swamp. They have a synth too. Why not? I don't know how they've been sandbagging all these. They get another refurb. Bro, I cannot catch a break. I'll take 3, and I can't get through these before we just die, so crack a synth, they get a spell bomb, Carrion Feeder. Alright, let's not draw this out anymore. So, what did we learn? Don't play this deck. First of all, I just don't think the Gates package works very well. There were a couple games in the late game where the ability to pump was nice, but I think we're sacrificing way too much by having all of these tap lands and by having these colorless lands, which again, it's kind of like playing like a Maze of Ith or something like that. It's a land, it's a spell land that does not tap for mana, more or less. The only spell in our main deck, the Bayou Graph, we could obviously play some more 2-drops, but that's not really making our deck any better. So I think that's not very good. If we cut all of these and then played like 4 to 6 just black-green tap lands, I think the deck might run smoother because we'd have more swamps to play. But again, I think your best bet is going to be when you don't get any of the green spells or tap lands and you just play mono black. So hopefully this answers the people who have been asking why I don't play black-green sacrifice. It's just not viable anymore. It's, it was decent 7 years ago, but it's just not that time anymore. So if you want to get wins, I'd suggest playing a different deck. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed anyway, and I'll see you next time.